Well, it's noontime here in Lagos, Nigeria. Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics on Channels Television. I'm Kayode Okikelu. Here's our major stories for today. Ahead of the October 5th Rivers local government election, court bars INEC from releasing voters' register to Rivers State Electoral Commission. Also bars the DSS police from providing security. And SERAP asks INEC to enforce the judgment ordering it to pursue cases of bribery against state governors and their deputies and other electoral offences committed during the 2023 general elections. And police on high alert ahead of Nigeria's 64th Independence Day celebration tomorrow, as it asks residents of the FCT to be vigilant and report suspicious movements. Well, ahead of the October 5th local government election in Rivers State, Justice Peter Lifu of the Federal High Court, Abuja, has stopped INEC, that's the Independent National Electoral Commission, from releasing voters' register to the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, RSEC, for the purpose of conducting the election. The court also barred the Inspector General of Police, IGP, and the Department of State Service, DSS, from providing security. Justice Lifu issued the order against INEC while delivering a judgment in a suit brought before him by the All Progressives Congress, APC. Justice Lifu held that the Rivers State Electoral Commission was wrong in fixing October 5 for the conduct of the poll into the 23 local government when all relevant laws guiding the election had not been complied with. Among others, the judge held that the failure of Rivers electoral body violated provision of local government election conduct law by not publishing the mandatory 90 days notice before fixing the date. Justice Peter Lifu also held that the update and revision of voter register ought to have been concluded before an election date conduct be legally and validity fixed in law. The judge therefore ordered INEC not to make the certified voter register available to RSEC until the law has been fully complied with. Justice Peter Lifu also barred RSEC from accepting any voter register from INEC or using it for the purpose of the October 5th local government election. Well, this is the latest twist in the build-up to that election. The question is, what happens then on October the 5th? But at least we can tell you what will happen on October the 1st. And ahead of the 64th Independence Day celebration of Nigeria, that is, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has strategically deployed adequate personnel and equipment throughout the FCT. A statement signed by the FCT Police Public Relations Officer, SP Josephine Nade, says the proactive deployment is aimed at ensuring that residents of the nation's capital enjoy a hitch-free Independence Day celebration. The statement adds that the deployment will include explosive ordnance disposal, EOD personnel, anti-riot equipment, visibility policing, among others. The statement further adds that traffic diversions will be implemented in areas expected to experience large crowds, including Central Area and Eagle Square. While celebrating Independence Day, residents of the FCT have been asked to remain vigilant and report any suspicious movement or activities to the police emergency line. Well, and ahead of the planned October 1st protest by some civil society organizations, a coalition of youth groups under the Taraba Peace Initiative is asking youth to shun the protest and give peace a chance. The group stormed the streets of Jalingo, the state capital, to sensitize residents on the need to shelve the protest, called for dialogue, as they insist that previous protests failed to yield positive results. The group is also seeking good governance and transparency from all tiers of government to avert a cycle of protests in the country.
We are calling on the youth to terminate and, desist from every such act that will lead them to take up arms, and, perpetrate evil and crime in the society. That is why we are here. And we also want to use this medium to tell our youth that are preparing for the forthcoming 1st October protests, hunger protests, to dialogue with the government. Justice, we know, is interwoven with peace. So therefore, let them not take up such protests. but rather they should sit with the top government officials and, resolve whatever issue it is amicably, because we believe in peace. Without peace, there can be no development. Peace is a panacea for development. Be you Christian, Muslim, whatever culture or background you belong to, we need peace, because without peace, we cannot have a common goal to achieve.
From peace to justice, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, is urging INEC to effectively enforce the judgment ordering it to pursue cases of bribery against state governors and their deputies and other electoral offences committed during the 2023 general elections. The request follows a judgment which was delivered on July the 18th following a mandamus lawsuit brought by SERAP. According to the organization, the recurrent cases of electoral bribery and violence make a mockery of Nigeria's electoral process and participatory democracy following scenarios that played out in the just concluded Edo elections. SERAP is concerned that suspected perpetrators of grave electoral offences, including off-cycle governorship elections in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa State, continue to enjoy impunity. Let's now turn our attention to the just concluded Anambra local government elections, where the All Progressives Grand Alliance, that's the ruling party in the state, ABGA, coasted to victory in that election, winning all chairmanship and councillorship positions across the 21 local government areas and 326 wards. Of course, this election, the build-up to it itself, has raised issues with other parties in the state, a lot of them boycotting the election. But ABGA, in any case, has taken the victory. And we're joined on the program by Mr. Lomefo, who's the Commissioner for Information in Anambra State. Thank you for joining us on Lunchtime Politics, Mr. Mefo.
Yeah, thank you for hosting me. Thank you.
I can see the smile on your face, which of course derives from the victory of your party over the weekend. But how free, fair, and credible would you describe that election if other parties in the election boycotted it? In fact, ANSEC said they weren't even there for the result announcement, for an election that is expected to have been contested by all parties. Not having those parties even participating to an extent and being there for result announcement surely is a major issue.
Yeah, many political parties participated, and unfortunately, they didn't win. And the reason is not far-fetched. Anambra is ABGA, and very difficult to defeat ABGA in Anambra State. So nobody should be surprised that ABGA indeed took all the positions. The second reason why the ABGA total victory came should be the sterling performance of Professor Soludo. He has done so much and so well to the point that the election confirmed that indeed the people appreciate the governor and the political party under which he ran and won and is governing the state. I observed the election. I visited many wards, polling units, and all that. And overall, the election was peaceful. It was transparent. And for me, more importantly, history was also made. History made in the sense that it's the first time Anambra is holding a local government election in 11 years. Peter Obi conducted the local government elections when he was about leaving office. His successor, Willie Obiano, didn't conduct any. Professor Soludo, while running for governorship, made a very strategic commitment to holding a local government election. He promised that if he was elected the governor of Anambra State, that he would certainly conduct a local government election. And that is a very major promise made. And he kept faith with that promise only yesterday by conducting a free, fair, transparent, credible local government election. Yes, there could be hitches here and there. Don't forget that Anambra State Independent Electoral Commission has been in the, should I say, cooler, for the past 1 decade. So they have gone rusty. So we expected a few of these hitches. And commendably, not many. And even in advanced democracies, you still find the hitches. So complaint of political parties that said they wouldn't participate, a few of them that didn't participate. Let me single out All Progressives Congress. Well, I understand they even went to court. You see, the way you check the viability of any political party is its ability to win elections in a state or in the federation entire. In Anambra State particularly, many of these, in fact, almost all these political parties that are making noise now, they have not won elections in the past.
Well, Mr.
So they are not winning now should not be surprised.
Right. Let me come to this major issue that has also been raised about the build-up to this election. And one of the chieftains of the Labour Party, Honorable Afam Victor Ogene, raised this major issue that originally it was meant to be 60 days, the notice for the election and preparations, but the law was amended to 30 days. And he wonders, why the rush? I mean, why reduce it to 30 days? In fact, we just gave a breaking news about the case of Rivers State, where the court said, well, they didn't abide by the 90-day period. So for other states, it's even meant to be 90 days. But Honorable Ogene is querying why this was cut short from 60 days, which is 30 days lesser than 90 days, further to 30 days. That's just 1 month. What do you have to say about that? Is that fair?
Yeah. It unfair to who? It cannot be said to be unfair since no particular political party suffered any disadvantage or advantage. All the political parties, including All Progressives, Grand Alliance, ABGA, were all subjected to the same electoral timeline. And the issue of violation does not occur because there is a law that is establishing the new timeline. And every political party was expected to adjust to it. And many did. ABGA did, PDP did, others did. And the man who was saying that, asking the question, why the rush? Well, the local government election has to be held. And the proof that the 1 month notice was sufficient was shown yesterday in the conduct, the impressive turnout, and the way and manner the entire exercise was carried out. So I don't see why that dissension should be taken seriously.
So the question is, why the rush? We know that elections, there are lots of moving parts to elections. Whether you like it or not, the ruling party in the state usually has the upper hand. You have access to institutions of the state, power over institutions of state, access to the state coffers. You are basically called the party in power for a reason. So there's usually the advantage that the ruling party has. So making it 30 days, the other parties, particularly Labour parties, say, well, this is unfair to them, particularly because they're obviously not the party in power and they'll need some extra time. So why, for example, would you have states saying, we need 90 days to prepare, but Anambra didn't do 90, didn't do 60, you did 30, 1 month. Why the rush?
There was no rush, as far as I am concerned. I believe I also have answered that question when I said that the new timeline subjected the entire political process to affect everybody equally, ruling party or not. You talked about the ruling party having access to this and that. Well, that's an advantage that ABGA enjoys for being in power in Anambra. I told you also that Anambra is ABGA. That's a fact. And what you should ask whoever is raising such a dissension is how many members do they have in Anambra House of Assembly? How many do they have in the House of Reps and in the Senate? They don't have. That's the issue here. And the critical stakeholder I see in this whole thing could be maybe PDP, but the PDP is not complaining. PDP participated in the election fully, and they didn't win though, for the reason, like I said, Anambra is APGA.
Right.
That's the truth. And Soludo has done so well that the people decided to return his party. And don't forget, this local government election was projected to be a referendum on Soludo's performance. And it turned out to be exactly the same thing, because the people gave a resounding yes to his party, and therefore to him, affirming him as the one who they voted for. They want the local government areas to also be governed by APGA.
All right, Mr. Before, I know that this particular argument will be on, and would allow that slide for now, but let's talk about the core issue of governance. Now, these people have emerged as either local government chairmen or councillors. The elephant in the room now is local government autonomy. Is Governor Soludo ready, willing, and able to implement local government autonomy, which is an order, by the way, by the Supreme Court? Is that something he is able, ready, and willing to do as a matter of urgency now that these people have emerged, allow them have their money and their autonomy without any form of interference, either directly, tacitly, indirectly, or whatever way?
In our presidential democracy, local government is a tier of government. It's a third tier, and it is duly recognized in the Constitution. In other words, your question on what would be the relationship between Governor Soludo and the local government is clearly defined by the law. So I don't see any need to entertain that fear, because the laws on this, the extant laws, dividing power between the state governor and or state government rather, and the local government, those laws will come to play. And again, the fact that Soludo has decided to even hold local government election is a very clear indication that he wants autonomy at local government level. He's not under any compulsion, because if he were under any compulsion, it should be extended to other states of the federation. And you and I know that as many as 20 states in Nigeria is still running their local governments based on the transition committees. So Soludo taking the initiative to hold election for local government, it means that he wants local government administration in Anambra State to run according to law. And your fears are not germane, if you ask me, with due respect, sir.
Well, he's been speaking about this really for some time now, ever since the Supreme Court gave that particular judgment. So when you say that my question is not germane, or my concerns are not germane, you do understand that he had said that the LG autonomy is against true federalism. Are you aware of that, just to be clear?
Yes, he could say that. And of course, it's the fact that states, in a normal presidential democracy, you have a two-tier. Nigeria is about the only country where you have 3 tiers in a federation. And it's a contemplation of Nigerian constitution. So even if Professor Soludo observed that granting a local government autonomy is antithetical to basic tenets of a normal federation or federalism, he's quite right, actually. But it is our constitution created local government as a tier. So what he said is true, because it's only in Nigeria, about only in Nigeria, you have 3 tiers of government in our federation. You don't find that in other federations. Out of the 26 countries of the world that practice federalism, Nigeria is the only one that has 3 tiers. But since it's the way we want ours, so shall it be. And let us practice it and see how it goes. And for me, Soludo believes in devolution of power, and even from the center to states. So he will not be against the devolving power to local governments. Again, is what obtains in the Constitution. And himself working according to the laws of the land to ensure that the local government functions optimally in Anambra State is a given. And like I said, there's no reluctance on his part.
No, because you had earlier said that my concerns were not germane, even though they weren't concerns, they were just questions based on what he had said. And now that I have confronted you with what he said about local government autonomy, I imagine you agree with me. In fact, let me quote him word for word. This is what he said, and he was speaking. No, because you said that my question was not germane, as though he was in support of local government autonomy when he said it clearly. Go ahead, please.
I believe we have handled that.
Well, let me just put it in context for our audience who may not understand where this is coming from. So he said that
he can give an opinion, as a scholar.
No, this was his opinion as governor of Anambra State. In fact, Mr. Mefor, just a second. Let me make this statement so you can respond to it. This is what he said. He said that each state must have the power to design the kind of local government system they want. That is what true federalism is about. He said that there is no federal system in the world where you have 3 federal units. The counties in America where we copy, their local governments don't go to center to collect money directly. In fact, he said that it's funny that some APC people are arguing for autonomy of local government. And he says that it would take Nigeria back many decades from what a true federalism is. So that is clear. That is what he said as a governor of Anambra State.
That's what I'm saying, that as a scholar, he's aware of the earlier opinion I gave. That Nigeria is about the only federation in the world that has a 3-tier of a government, and is somehow antithetical to the basics you find in a normal functional federalism. So that is it. But given that this is the constitutional contemplation for Nigeria as a country, he has demonstrated his commitment to allow that to work by holding a local government election. And that I think is what is important here. If he is reluctant to allow autonomy of local governments to happen, he wouldn't be amongst the first to hold a local government election. Okay. But he is.
So, Mr. Mefor, it is cheering to hear that. Are you saying that he has made a U-turn now and he doesn't believe that local government autonomy will take us back decades? Now he's in support of it. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think so. I don't think he has done any U-turn or made any U-turn, no. The fact is that he gave an informed opinion as a scholar. All right. And the Constitution is there. His opinion, his personal opinion, is different from what the law says and what
so he's going to grant them financial autonomy in spite of his scholarly opinion. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't get the question.
So he's going to grant financial autonomy, which is lawful, in spite of his scholarly opinion, which says that he thinks that it will take us back decades ago.
What the law says is what Professor Soludo will do.
All right. Well, interesting days ahead. We'll keep a close watch on local governance in Anambra State just to see how things play out, if indeed it follows the law or his scholarly opinion. But we'd like to thank you so much, Commissioner for Information, Anambra State, Mr. Law Mefor. Thank you for your time. We do hope
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you once again for your time, Mr. Law Mefor.
Thank you.
Well, let's head over to, happenings in Edo State, as the state governor-elect, Senator Monday Okpebholo, has paid a courtesy visit to the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, at Lagos House Marina, to appreciate him for his support during the Edo State governorship election. The governor-elect, who was accompanied by his deputy, Mr. Dennis Idahosa, the deputy governor of Edo State, Mr. Philip Shaibu, and some APC chieftains, appealed to Governor Sanwo-Olu to continue to support him in serving and delivering dividend of democracy to the people of the state. Governor Sanwo-Olu assured the Edo State governor-elect of his support, saying he will not walk alone when he assumes office as Edo State governor.
I'm happy to be here to say thank you to him for the love he has shown to us during the time of we were facing difficulty, especially during our campaign to when the election was going on. I also want to let him know that we are beginning to put our teams together to see how we produce effective team that will lead Edo State to a greater glory. Now I'm here not only because I want to thank him, to also draw from his wealth of experience.
Like you have said, your winning is for all Edo. Like you have said, everybody should join hands with you to develop Edo State. Like you have said, we should not leave you alone. I want to assure you that you are not the first that Lagos will be supporting in terms of developmental templates. You know, there's a company called Rank Xerox who taught the world to copy. There is nothing wrong in copy. You just need to copy and copy well and copy right. So we will make all of our, agencies that you believe would speak to the needs of Edo, we'll make them available to you. We'll make ideas that we've used to take Lagos forward. We'll give them to you. And like you said, all your other contestants should come together and work with you so that you can develop, Edo State. I believe that's the right thing to say. That's the right thing to do. Election is over for now. So it is for you to ensure that you can, get every Edo citizen that truly, really wants to serve and wants to support to come out and render that hand of support.
Well, that's Lunchtime Politics for this afternoon. Thank you for watching. I'm Kayodoki Kulu. Goodbye.